Hello, legal researchers. My name is Elena Walatira, and I am here today to show you, a law student here at the University of Washington School of Law, the Law Library's website. We're going to look at the Law Library catalog and then at all of the databases and research guides that we have available for you as a legal researcher. So let's get started. Let's start out with, how do you even get to the Law Library's website? Pretty simple. From any UW Law page, you can click on the library link in the banner. You could also Google UW Law Library. Note, the Law Library is actually separate from all of the other libraries on campus here at the University of Washington, as well as the Bothell and Tacoma campuses. Law Library is its own special library here to meet the needs of the University of Washington School of Law. We're funded by your tuition, and we are here to serve you as law students. So know that while we have lots of interconnected services with the rest of the university, this page here is really designed only for you as a law student, not for social work students or School of Medicine students, history students. They're welcome to use our resources, but they're not who our primary user base is. That's you. Okay, so we are on the Law Library's front page. What can I show you? I'm going to highlight a couple things. The search box, research guides, legal databases, and the library catalog. Let's start out with legal databases, because I know this is an area where people can have some questions, especially right at the beginning of a course or the quarter. So these databases here are ones that we think are relevant to you as a legal researcher. In addition, the databases on this page here, or any of them that have the little law symbol next to them, are available only to current UW Law community members. That includes anybody from outside the School of Law who's currently taking a UW Law class, or obviously the 1Ls, 2Ls, 3Ls, MJs, PhDs, LLMs, etc. here at the University of Washington School of Law for those degrees. These databases are many, so you can browse through and take a look. They are organized by subject or by type. We also have new and trial databases. We recently acquired Harvey AI, which is an AI legal drafting tool, Hotshot Legal. But the big two that folks typically ask about right at the beginning of the quarter are Lexis and Westlaw. Westlaw, you have to register for separately. You should have gotten registration information during orientation. If you did not, or if you lost it, you can send an email to lawref@uw.edu, and we will send you that information again. Lexis, you just sign into with your NetID. So if you're not getting access to Lexis, even though you're signing in with your NetID, that's probably something that needs to be worked out on our end. So again, send us an email at lawref@uw.edu. Make sure when you sign in to any of these databases that you're using your UW NetID. That is the characters that come before @uw.edu in your email address. My email address is elenaw@uw.edu. Thus, my NetID is elenaw. You may have had the issue of trying to access some of the databases on this page or another database that you know UW Law subscribes to, but you haven't been able to get into it. You've gotten something like you need to log in, even though and then you try to log in with your UW email address and it just isn't working. It's saying you're an unauthorized user. The reason for that is because the database is IP authenticated. That means it is anticipating that users are on campus using our IP address range of our Wi-Fi in order to access those things. If you're off campus, you can still get them to work, but in order to do that, you have to try two things. One, go actually get to the website from this page. Instead of Googling heinonline.com or whatever, you should actually be accessing it from the A to Z databases list. That is going to get you an authenticated link that will hopefully trigger the login for you from the UW authentication side. The other thing to do is to use the campus VPN. So here at UW, that's called Husky OnNet. So once you install this on your computer and have it running while you're using a UW database actively in your browser, your IP address will look as if it is coming from on campus, even if you're off campus or out of the country or whatever. So you can install it using the information on installing, configuring, and using Husky OnNet. Make sure you pay attention to the type of software you need depending on what you are using. And so for me, from a Mac, I have to run Big IP Edge Client. When I am using a PC, it's the same name, it just the logo looks a little bit different. So make sure you're running those, and if you have them running, then hopefully you will be able to access our databases. Again, if you have trouble getting into anything, just send us an email. We would be happy to help you figure it out. All right. All right, back to legal databases, just to show you what all of these little icons are. Here, Hein, that's a specific database, but we have lots of subscriptions within it. So we let you know if it's something that's on Hein. Law is for UW Law only. The little padlock is for folks who are within the UW community. So that's either current students, staff or faculty, or people who have a UW borrower's card. Here is the symbol for databases that require Husky OnNet. And the little red symbol with the padlock, it tells you that you need to create an account. Westlaw is an example of that. See, little red guy next to Westlaw. And finally in this list is HON, and those are the materials that you need to be connected via Husky OnNet in order to access. An example of that is going to be Law 360, which is a legal news database. So that is A to Z databases. Let's head back to the front page and I'll show you a couple other things. Research guides. So we've got almost 70 guides, topical guides on different areas of legal research. Some of these are connected to a class that you may take, say the professor who does the beginning of life seminar or the drafting business documents course. Asks the law library to create a curated page with all of the law library resources that are available to you specific to your topic. We also have guides about certain types of sources, so court briefs and oral arguments, court reporters, free and low-cost materials. We have information about topics that are specializations of the law school, such as Indian and tribal law or intellectual property law. If you're taking a course from me, I am likely to refer you to our research guides throughout the course. They are going to give you information that is specific to the resources that you can access here at the law school. But even once you graduate, there are still lots of great resources on these guides that you'll be able to access forever. You don't have to log in to use them. There is lots of good information about, say, free online materials. We're in the Federal Legislative History Guide right now, where we refer to a bunch of UW Libraries materials, Congress.gov, the U.S. Government Printing Office, all sorts of things. So not just useful while you're here at UW Law. But we try to have a guide on all of the big, tricky topics for legal researchers, in addition to Washington-specific topics, because we are one of the bigger law libraries in Washington State. So if you scroll down, you can see all of the Washington-specific research guides that we have for you as well. Okay, back to the front page. Now, the search box. So the search box in the upper corner searches the law library's website. That includes stuff like the list of databases, web pages with services for students, like the Library Services for Students page, and our research guides, as well as faculty publications. So anything published by a School of Law faculty member, we put in our digital repository, and that you can search via the website, as well as the law journals here at UW Law, of which we have 4: the Washington Law Review, the Washington Journal of Social and Environmental Justice, the Washington Journal of Law, Technology, and Arts, and the Washington International Law Journal, previously known as the Pacific Rim Law and Policy Journal. You can search full text content via the Law Library's website or via this search box here to find anything published by one of our journals. Okay, so just to demonstrate the utility of this search box, let's say we are looking for basic information about legal citation. You're pursuing your advanced writing credit and you need a refresher on how to create some citations. So I'm going to search for legal citation. And you can see here, most of these links are actually to our research guide called Blue Book 101. So Blue Book 101 is a guide that I maintain about legal citation with some hopefully helpful information on it, including information about major changes to new editions. So every 5 years, the Blue Book comes out with a new edition that incorporates changes to the formatting of legal citation throughout the country. The most recent edition came out in May 2025, and on this guide, I try to lay out all of the changes from edition to edition so that legal researchers everywhere can stay up to date on whether or not you use a parenthetical with a signal C generally, and other very important topics such as that. Now, the library catalog. There are 2 sides to the library catalog. 1, library resources. 2, what you've been doing. So if you click this link here to my library account, you can see all of the materials that you currently have loaned out to yourself. Requests, so anything you've requested from another library that hasn't yet arrived, that will show here. Fines and fees, which hopefully you'll never have, and then blocks or messages from the library staff. Anything you can find in the library catalog is fair game for you to request, and you would see that request there in your library account. And here's how you search the catalog. So let's take our legal citation example. We're going to search the catalog for legal citation. Note that the default, when you're coming from the Law Library's front page, is Gallagher Law Library. So this is going to include all of the electronic resources to which we are subscribed via either, JSTOR or ebooks or ebooks subscribed to by UW Libraries. It also includes anything that's in print here, physically located in Gallagher Law Library or at a UW library generally. Note you can change your scope. So if you go to UW Libraries Plus Summit, that's going to include physical materials that are in a number of Pacific Northwest academic libraries. Most of the Pacific Northwest academic libraries are part of this consortium, and we share one big catalog and collection. So if Gallagher doesn't have it, maybe the University of Oregon Law Library has it, or maybe Gonzaga has it. You can also expand to articles, books, and more, and that is kind of like a combination of the Law Library catalog and something like, say, Google Scholar. It's a big, huge index that lets you search materials across multiple platforms. You just might find, if you use articles, books, and more, that you're finding materials that you can't then figure out how to get into. So I recommend keeping things scoped to Gallagher Law Library. That will include stuff that is available to you both in print and electronically as a user of the Law Library. You can see here we have got a number of resources. This is an ebook, The Allwood Guide to Legal Citation, a very important text. You can get to it by clicking Online Access, and then you can see here it says View Online Full Text Availability, eBook Central 1 User Access. What does that mean? That means that the Law Library has a license to this ebook that is restricted to one user at a time. So if somebody else is already using this license for the day, then you're not going to be able to yourself. The only way to know is by clicking it, and then you click Read Online, and that should get you to Allwood. Let's look at another example. Here is the print book. Note 2 different editions. If you click Available At, you can see that we have 2 copies here in the classified stacks. Classified does not mean top secret here at the Law Library. Classified just means in call number order. So if you wanted this book immediately, you could go out to the stacks. This is on L1, and you could go to KF 245, which is the call number devoted to legal citation, and you could go find this book on the shelf, grab it, and check it out to yourself at the circulation desk. You can request UW item, and that allows you to select a pickup location. Say you live in Tacoma, you could actually choose UW Tacoma Library instead of Gallagher Law Library. It just depends on what's the most convenient hold shelf for you. And then send request, and we will let you know when it arrives for you. Note that you can also filter things on the side. This shouldn't be anything new to you as a researcher in the 21st century, but I do find it helpful to limit to print book because sometimes I'm just here and I want to go grab something right now, but also sometimes I'm off campus and I know a print book isn't going to do me much good, so it can also be helpful to limit to ebook. Publication date, topic. I can also find author, creator to be helpful as well, because I know that the Association of Legal Writing Directors writes the Allwood Guide, so I could theoretically go limit to author, creator, Association of Legal Writing Directors, or we know that the Blue Book is written by a collaboration with 4 law schools on the East Coast, but Harvard Law Review Association is always the one that gets listed first. So we could apply filters there, and theoretically, yep, this shows us the Blue Book here as the first 3 results. You might see stuff on Course Reserve. You cannot request things that are on Course Reserve. You can request via Summit, which just means we're going to go see if Lewis and Clark has a copy. It looks like UW Tacoma has a copy, but the version that's on Course Reserve for us, or the version on Referent, is probably not going to be requestable. So just keep an eye on your on your email inbox, and that should be pretty accurate. And you'll be kept apprised of the status of your request. You'll recall that I said that KF 245 was the call number where legal citation materials can be found. It might be useful to you if you're here in the library to actually look through the results from a given search and take note of the call numbers. it looks like somewhere in KF 245, all of these materials have that call number of KF 245. You can actually walk out to the stacks and go take a look at KF 245 and do a shelf browse. So not only will you find your Allwood Guide to Legal Citation and the Blue Book and this book called Legal Citation in a Nutshell, but also other materials that are relevant to that topic that are also classified in that call number. Let's go take a look.
Starting things out in the reference area. This is right by the front door of the law library. We're going to walk our way through the reference area out to the classified stacks. Note here that this row, 22, starts with K, plain old K. We're going to need to keep walking until we get to KF. Pausing here at KF 101. We are in luck. KF 170 to 221, not the right range. We're looking for KF 245. KF 242 to KF 292, that's it. Now let's take a look. Here we are at KF 245, and these materials are all about legal citation. You can even see here we've got older editions of the Blue Book. Pretty exciting stuff. You can learn so much about legal research and writing in the library stacks.
So that's a quick summary on the Law Library's website. I hope you found it useful. If you have questions, feel free to email me or my colleagues at lawref@uw.edu so we can help you figure out whatever your legal research conundrum is. Thanks. Have fun researching.